On Quora.com, Stephen Rang shared his experience as a teacher at an elementary school. One of his second grade students, Emmanuel, could not read even the simplest text. His family, even some specialists, were giving up and ended up in a grand vase, as well as Emmanuel himself that kept showing his unpleasant behavior.
One day, Stephen witnessed an astonishing progress of Emmanuel. When he helped another student that sat in front of him was struggling on some words. Stephen realized that Emmanuel helped the other student while he was in position to read the book upside down.
After that moment, Stephen tried to give him a harder book to read upside down, and Emmanuel read it fluently. After some research, Stephen assumed that Emmanuel is one in a million child that was struggling from some rare form of dyslexia, but no studies had ever been done.
As Lawson said, deviance means any behavior that violates cultural norms, which means in Emmanuel's case, by reading a book upside down is considered breaking the norms. As sociologist Howard S. Becker describes, it is not the act itself but rather reactions to that act that render something deviant. To prove that fact, for this social norm experiment, we decided to read an upside down book to a 4-year-old boy in the crowded place at Victoria Garden on a hot Sunday afternoon.
How much money you make yesterday?
In society, what's considered as normal for reading book is when an alphabetical order facing up and going a certain direction, because that's how we learn it since the beginning.
In this case, while reading a book in a certain way, as we've been taught, identified as a normal social behavior. So, when someone do it in the opposite way, it is considered violation or deviant, which is according to the labeling theory or societal reaction approach that sees society's reaction to an act as crucial in determining whether or not that action is deviant, focuses on understanding why certain behaviors are labeled deviant while other behaviors are considered normal.
After reviewing our social experiment, we now have a better understanding that reading the book upside down is considered a violation of the norm or an act of deviance because of the reactions we were able to capture and how this supports the labeling theory. It is proven by the reaction we captured conducting the experiment because within the first 10 minutes, there were approximately 17 people showing their reaction. This reaction showed that 1 to 2 persons per minute responded to this behavior, and there were 2 persons took a second look at us, and another 2 persons kept staring for 3 seconds.
However, as the book described, sanction is a penalty or reward you receive when you either abide by the social norm or violate it. The feedback that we got was a negative informal sanction by receiving a bizarre look towards us. Otherwise, the relative theory demonstrated in the book that is that sociologists have observed that expectations regarding norms and deviance are relative, meaning they change from one culture to another or even from region to region within one national culture.
For one thing, our project behavior is a deviance in a normal community and hardly be accepted by the society's social norms. For another thing, our project behavior is properly considered as a normal behavior in psychological point of view, which is correspondence with the relative theory.